host, Sue Rose Minahan, Talk Cosmos Chat, January 8th, 2021. And Madam Simon and I are going to talk about the transits today. And Madam Simon has her website at Icon Alchemy and is in Camino Island. Here, I'm going to share a chart and we can begin talking about these personal planets that have just entered 0 degrees.
Yes. Venus has entered into a Capricorn, 0 degrees of Capricorn in this chart. We see also that Mercury is at 0 degrees of Aquarius. And just a couple of days ago, Mars entered Taurus. And so it's at 0 degrees of Taurus. So we have this kind of interesting dynamic going on here. Mercury in Aquarius is in a challenging square aspect to Mars, while Venus in Capricorn is in this supportive trine aspect to Mars. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic, you know. Mercury governs our thought and our communication. Okay. Also governs things like travel and commerce. Mars has to do with our energy, our drive, our ambition, our aggression. And then Venus has to do with how do we connect with others and what do we value, what do we take pleasure in. Okay. And so, you know, there's this on one hand, there's this support from the connective principle of Venus to Mars being more active and aggressive, and then Mars can sometimes be divisive. Okay, so there's this weird dynamic of like, oh, we got the support between connection and division. And then when we're looking at this square from Mercury to Mars, we have this challenge between our ability to communicate and that active aggressive principle. Okay.
Oh, yes, very much, Madam Simon. It is true. However, I am remembering along with this that Mars defends and causes. And so it is interesting to consider, since they're both in earth signs, what cause they may be working to support in their best light. We understand there's a shadow side of everything, but in the best light, if they could cooperate to have this aggressive, receptive energy to build a, a substantial foundation of something, then perhaps that square that Mercury has in the innovative freedom Aquarius on our networking in its best light, you know, with the Iranian ruler, or looking at Saturn too as the conventional ruler, you know, about structure, like how are we going to redo the structure of the forms? It's not an easy uh, project, but I hope it is substantial. Is that
Well, Mars is not in the most active position in Taurus. You know, Mars has just gotten off of, 6 months in Aries, his home sign, being active and aggressive. And then suddenly in Taurus, Taurus is that fixed earth energy. Okay. Very concerned with material well-being, but really concerned with survival matters. Okay.
very
And
much? It's true.
Mars in Taurus, then if you're thinking about that fixed earth energy, think about just the physicality of that. You know, Aries is this fire sign, active, fast, okay? A cardinal
Definitely.
sign.
Yeah. It's a spark of fire. Is right.
But Taurus is like the mountain, the
Well,
root of the earth.
it's the temple, the building. Yes, it's the foundation. Yes,
Okay.
ground.
And
Earth.
so Mars in that heavy place then isn't about doing things quickly, isn't
No,
about, um, fast, aggressive action, but maybe
abs
more holding the line
well,
or
absolutely.
defending.
No, it's very
Okay.
true. It has more of a substantiality about that. They're both Earth, and they're in early signs, 0 degrees. But I am saying that there is a potentiality, and you're right. It isn't something for us to consider that will be quick, like we've experienced for the 6 months, and perhaps that's a good thing, because it certainly has been too much action. Like this just happened. This ingress was just yesterday evening. So it's very new energy.
Um, so, I think that's an interesting kind of dynamic for us to be experiencing over the next month or so. Okay. Um, and it gives us something to consider, to look into, because, we can have, say, Venus can very much relate to our friends and our loved ones. How do we connect with other people, right? And if we're connecting through actions that are holding the line, okay, now that can be great if it is defending people who need defending, or um, bonding over helping each other with our physical material concerns. Like, say, for example, volunteers at a food bank, okay, or the people who are helping other people to get vaccinated right now, the frontline workers who are helping people with COVID, okay. Um, but there is also that potential for people to bond over stuckness,
Oh,
to drag each other
absolutely.
down.
It's unifying. Any, go ahead.
Okay. And when Mars is squared to Mercury in Aquarius, there's this dichotomy, which we were talking about a little bit before the show. Okay. A dichotomy between that traditional rulership of Aquarius by Saturn and this modern rulership that some astrologers see for Aquarius on the part of Uranus. And one of the things that I like to emphasize with this is that Saturn deals very much with upholding the status quo, and deals with rules. Okay. And in Aquarius, knowledge becomes it's like thought and communication that is fixed air, because Aquarius is a fixed sign, and so it solidifies into knowledge, what we think we know. Okay. And that can come from our family, our community, our society. Okay. Saturn is a social planet. But Uranus, as an outer planet, as a transcendental planet, okay, gets into kind of the causes of things, the bigger picture of things. And one of the bigger pictures of things is that so often the things that we cling to in terms of rules and ideas and knowledge is, in fact, not our own learning, but other people taking up rent-free space in our heads. Okay. Things that we've had conditioned into us. And so I would argue that Mercury here in this position, squaring Mars, is about breaking conditioning.
Totally. I would say so,
Okay.
which is sort of an oxymoron because you don't think of Saturn, who holds the line, as structure. It is that 10th. Anyway, that would operate that way, but I totally agree. It's breaking the pattern. It's looking innovatively how to improve.
Well, not simply innovatively, but having us confront the shadow of our conditioning.
Well,
Okay.
that's the best approach. I agree. That's part of it. I mean, you have to work constructively with what exists. I think that's very important. I like that. We have to, I think that is it. Thank you, Madam Simon. I think that really presents the conflicts and potentialities that we have now. So this is Madam Simon and myself. Thank you very much.